You know what I love? Candy bars. And one of my favorite all-time candy bars combines coconut and dark chocolate. Oh yeah, we're gonna make a coconut dark chocolate pie. Stay tuned. Welcome to my sweet life. I'm Amy, and today we're gonna combine 3 of my favorite things: chocolate, coconut, and pie. Oh yeah, pie. For this pie, we're using just 4 ingredients for the crust. Super easy. And I'm actually using unsweetened, organic, shredded coconut. If all you can get is sweetened shredded coconut, that's okay. Just omit the sugar, or else you're gonna have like such a sweet crust. Which, you know, maybe you like that, but it'll be a lot. Anyways, I'm going with unsweetened. And I like the organic because it's like a little bit drier and crispier. And oh man, one of my favorite things is toasted coconut, and I just love the crunch of it. So organic shredded coconut kind of already gives you a leg up on that aspect. You know what I mean? All right, so I have my coconut broken into 2 bowls because what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a food processor. I've got my little mini food processor. It's adorable. My wife got it for me as a gift because I wanted a food processor for Christmas a couple years ago, so she got me a mini one. Hilarious, right? So now everything I make has to just be in smaller batches. It's awesome. All right, so let's get started. I've got a smaller amount of coconut, and that is just gonna go right into my mini food processor. Holy cow. And I missed the bowl, but that's okay, because we're just gonna put it in there. Okay, so a little bit of salt, just a smidgen. And I've got some vegan butter. Now, I've tried this recipe with like the vegan buttery sticks and with the spreadable like tub vegan butter, and it works just the same either way. So this recipe is kind of nice for that. So I kind of cut it up a little bit just into like slices. I'm gonna get that right into my food processor. And we're just gonna pulse this up until it breaks down and kind of becomes like a sticky paste. Okay. So once that's broken down, I've got my bigger bowl of coconut, and I've got some organic brown sugar. I like to use brown sugar in this recipe just because we're working with dark chocolate and you kind of get like those really nice deep notes with the molasses and the dark chocolate. But you can use regular cane sugar. It's totally up to you. And I kind of like to use my hands for this part, but I am going to use a spatula to get all of my coconut butter mixture out of here. Oh, and as an aside, my butter was kind of like a cool room temperature, but I find that the vegan buttery sticks or the vegan spread work fine straight out of the fridge. It doesn't really affect it. Your food processor is going to be able to break it down just fine. All right. You can definitely use a spatula if you feel like it, but I like to use my hands in baking. So much more fun. Also, this helps you ensure that you get it nice and evenly combined, which is exceptionally important because we don't have, other than the butter, there's no binders in this. So the coconut has to really be well incorporated with the butter, or else it's not gonna hold together. I'm also not mixing this so long that all of my larger pieces of coconut kind of break down and get all crumbly. I want some longer flakes in there. All right, so that feels really good and combined. Cleaned up my hands a little bit and I popped my oven on to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I like that temperature because it's basically going to brown the coconut, melt the sugar and butter, make it all kind of come together, but you're not gonna burn your coconut because coconut can go from like not toasted to way over toasted really fast. So I've got my crust and I'm just gonna pour this right into a 9-inch pie plate. And I'm just using the back of a measuring cup here. Want to spread it around, kind of like building it up towards the edges a little bit. And I'm really just flattening and slightly pushing out to get into those corners, but very gently, because if you push too hard, you're gonna fling coconut everywhere. So I just take my time with this because, well, I enjoy it. Enjoy the process of baking. I'm not in a hurry. I wanna get my crust nice and even, and if you wanna use your other hand to kind of keep it from coming out. And now I'm pushing up against the sides with the edge of my measuring cup. This is like a 1/3 cup measuring cup, which actually works perfectly for this. It's the right height for the sides of my pie dish. All right, I've got that all nice and packed in there and it looks amazing. Got a beautiful crust. All right, this is gonna go into my oven, which in the amount of time it takes you to put this crust together, your oven will be preheated. Now I'm gonna put it in there and I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes and then I'm gonna start checking it. Like I said, coconut can go from not browned at all to just burnt. So you wanna be really careful. And if you feel like it's getting way overdone too fast, you can turn your oven down just slightly. But check it at 10 minutes. It takes about 12. Just keep an eye on it. Don't walk away from it. Oh man, 10 minutes later, and there she is. That is a pretty crust. The coconut is perfectly toasted all along the surface. And the smell, oh, if you love the smell of toasted coconut like I do, it's amazing. In fact, let me know in the comments if you love the smell of toasted coconut. But anyways, okay, so this bad boy needs to cool down. So I'm gonna let it cool a little bit at room temperature so that it doesn't go into my refrigerator too hot. But then you wanna pop it in the fridge. And this is a good thing to like make the night before so that you can chill it overnight and then in the morning you can quickly make your filling, get it in there and have it later that day. But otherwise, if you're gonna do it the same day, just put it in the fridge for like an hour and it should be good to go. So it's gonna go in my refrigerator and then I'm gonna show you how to make the filling. So this is incredibly easy. We're just making a vegan ganache. I'm using coconut milk. Now the thing you wanna watch out for with coconut milk is that it has cream in it. And not the carton coconut milk like you would buy in the dairy section because that's gonna be really thin. You want canned coconut milk with cream in it. So what to watch out for depending on what brand you have access to. I'm using a 13.5 fluid ounce can. You want it to have some indication that there's the cream in it. So if it says with cream on top, or creamy coconut milk, full fat coconut milk. You know, those are kind of the phrases that you would know whether or not it has the fat in it. So I'm just gonna put my coconut milk right into a saucepan. And you can tell too if it has the cream in it, if it kind of has like that milky look to it. If it's more of a translucent, thin liquid, it doesn't have very much cream in it. And I'm gonna get this onto medium heat, and I just wanna bring it to a simmer. I don't want a rolling boil because you could scorch the chocolate. Just gonna get it nice and slightly bubbly on top. All right, I got a nice little simmer going, and I've already got my dark chocolate ready to go in a larger bowl. Now you can use a vegan chocolate chip, or you can use a dairy-free dark chocolate. I'm using a Guittard Organic 74% bittersweet chocolate. Whatever brand you prefer, just as long as it doesn't contain dairy. And you always want to make sure that you use a whisk and not a spatula to mix your ganache together, just because it's going to help break up the chocolate much better and get a nice smooth glossy finish. Okay, so this is going to go right in. Get all that coconutty milk goodness in there. And I'm just gonna start whisking. And it should start to melt right away. And I have a higher ratio. When you make ganache, typically you go based off of a ratio. So for dark chocolate, a standard ganache would be 1:1. So say you put in 8 ounces of dark chocolate, you would have 8 ounces of coconut milk. My coconut milk is a little bit higher in weight than my chocolate because it's going to be refrigerated, and I don't want it to set up really hard. I want it to still be a nice, creamy filling. Wow, so pretty. Smells amazing. And I'm just looking for it to be nice and combined. Checking, I don't see any unmelted pieces of chocolate. So this is good to go. This looks so beautiful, and it's nice and set, not coming apart at all. The refrigerator really helps. If you just let it cool at room temperature, it will set up, but the refrigerator helps solidify that vegan butter and makes it a nice crust. All right, and our ganache is just gonna go straight in. Oh wow, that is beautiful. And the recipe, I have a link down in the description for this. The recipe that I have is like the perfect amount of filling to bring it right up to the edge of that crust, and you just get this beautiful, beautiful pie. Oh man, I'm so excited. All right, so this is gonna go back in the refrigerator, and I'm gonna let this set up for about 4 hours. Again, it's a really good thing to do the night before, but I really can't wait for this to set up. So I ended up letting my pie hang out in the fridge overnight and just fully set up, and it looks beautiful. I just wanna show you how to cut it. So I went ahead and boiled some water. You want your water to be really, really hot. I have this nice little electric kettle which boils it super quick and easy. You can boil it on the stove unless your tap water gets really hot. Mine doesn't, not hot enough for this. So that's just key. And then you want to get a tall cup. And then you're gonna need a tall cup and a sharp knife. Also, I have a nice clean kitchen towel, so that's really important, the kitchen towel. I'm just gonna get my hot water into the cup. You wanna fill it up pretty full. And I'm gonna pop my knife in there. Just a few seconds to warm up the blade. And you wanna make sure you wipe it off before you use it. And I'm going to find the center of my pie and put the tip of my knife right down in the center. And you'll see the knife is melting through that ganache. And I'm just gonna pull towards me, applying pressure. It should come out nice and smooth. And then right back into my hot water. So I'm gonna cut another slice right down into the center, pulling towards me. And also make sure you get all the way to the edge, and try really hard to get it cut on the first slice, because with the ganache, if you try to put the knife back down in there, it's gonna get kind of messy. And we want a really nice, neat cut. And I can go down. In with my blade, hoping it comes out. And then I cut it right. And the first slice is the hardest to get out, and sometimes it can be difficult. However, mine came out beautifully. Wow. Check that out. Oh man. That looks amazing. Oh, I gotta grab a fork. Okay, I'm super excited to try this. Oh yeah. And that ganache is the perfect texture because it's not too firm. Like my fork just went straight through it. Mmm. And it melts in your mouth, literally. And the coconut is still crispy. Awesome, this is so good. If you want to try this, please do. Let me know in the comments how it went. And if you want more recipes like this one, every Monday and Thursday, I have new episodes. So hit the subscribe button and get notified for new episodes. I really hope you try this. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys.